do you know what it's like to have an eating disorder? Go in circles, do the work, pay the coaches, try the diets to end up nowhere? That's frustrating. I was so out of whack energetically, like my emotional state was not there. I looked successful on the outside, but I wasn't happy. Low self-esteem, inability to kind of make a decision, not trusting self, and just trusting others. So it's like how to cultivate that. There's a few ways that trust comes in. So trust of self, trust of others. I grew up with my mom saying, you can't trust anybody, keep your enemies closer. It's our wounded state that we need to move out of. And so naturally, if you don't trust yourself, you're not going to trust others. My soul evolution and just like being in this place, coming from where I came from. And if you don't know where I came from, go watch the webinar. I show you how I got my together, healed my hormones, depression, total hysterectomy, and like everything, cover model to where, because I wasn't supposed to be successful. Like a rags to riches story. Seriously, it's all on CaseyShip.com/register. You can get access to that no cost training. If you trust yourself, you can trust everything. And I'm going to tell you my little hack on how I cultivated trust in myself. So early on, fitness days especially, and in fitness, it's like they praise grinding, right? They praise showing up even if you don't feel like it. You get it. If you've never done anything in fitness or been on a diet or anything, it's almost just like the more miserable you are, the more it's working. That's like how they teach you. It's almost like we're Marines. We're just really good at being miserable. And it's rewarded. It's like, oh yeah, but my abs are coming through. Just all this stuff. You feel the misery and you do it anyway. You feel like it's too heavy, you squat it anyway. But ultimately, I was struggling my little skinny white ass off. And that's why I had full-blown adrenal fatigue. I had cystic acne. I had developed an eating disorder because I'm very obsessive. Like, I come from addicts, okay? So you give me something, and I'm going to go all in. I was so out of whack energetically, like my emotional state was not there. I looked successful on the outside, but I wasn't happy. Miserable, actually. Like I said, like, do you know what it's like to have an eating disorder? Go in circles, do the work, pay the coaches, try the diets to end up nowhere? That's frustrating. Not having answers, going to different doctors, like that's a hard pill to swallow. And you sit with that core wound, of not good enough. I always wanted more. I always wanted this. I always wanted that. And I didn't know my worth. So you could say, yeah, I trusted myself because I did the damn thing anyway. I showed up. I felt the fear. I did it anyway. That's one way to do it. And then here I am, 35. I have cracked the code, baby. I've cracked this code, man. I gotta tell everybody about it. That's why I'm now like, okay, I'm a certified woo-woo energy healer because the shit works. Like, science is proven. And once I kind of got to the bottom of, okay, it's all about energy. It's about why am I choosing this versus that. I didn't even know, first of all, I had a choice. Going back to trust, there's two ways. There's either fear or love. You're always making a decision out of fear and scarcity and lack, or you're making a decision out of, I'm excited, this is the aligned thing to do, even though I'm scared, this is it. However, if you don't heal the energy, the block, like when you do feel that trigger of fear, scarcity, lack, like these old things come in of, you can't do it, you're too old, you're too fat, you're too dumb, that's a wasteful, you're wasting money, should you do it, should you not, like all this stuff. Y'all know what it feels like when you get up against a new edge. It's like, should you really be doing that? Is this really the right food to eat? Is this really the right thing to be doing? Like, y'all know what it feels like. And that's why like hormones is so important too, because I mean, if your adrenals are off, your anxiety is going to be higher. But ultimately, like, you could heal your hormones, you could work on your hormones, but if you don't heal the energy, if you don't address the energy in which caused you to have Hashimoto's, adrenal fatigue, or whatever it is, or stubborn fat, insulin resistant, or PCOS, it's going to come back. Our emotional baggage, our stored stuff, our onion layers, like they will haunt us until we let them sit with us and we welcome them in, we lean into it. Only way to get through it is to feel it, right? So this code that I cracked was this trust thing. It was the gift of discernment came through. And it was like, okay, so I can trust because now I'm stepping into my power, which is understanding how sensitive we are. Hey, we feel things. We feel things. I can feel someone's intentions. I can feel when something's not right. But if you've taken enough abuse over time where people in your head like telling you you're worthless or that's not going to work or why are you doing that, like that will bleed in and eventually it'll get so loud that's all you listen to. And that's why you're in the cycle of things not working out, because you're still listening to all those old tapes and beliefs when really you have a choice to choose differently. So if you're struggling with trust, just ask yourself a couple questions. One is, if I could not mess up and I fully trusted that I was going to get the result that I'm after, what would I choose right here? And you do that and you decide, you just make it happen, right? If your first go-to is like you shut your eyes, you close your eyes, can I trust this person? If you're asking yourself, probably a no. You know what I mean? It's going to feel different. It's going to feel like you need to learn your emotions. I mean, just look up emotional wheel, like right here on this paper. I mean, look up, there's so many here. There's not just happy, mad, and sad. There's a lot here. When you think about this decision, this person, this school, this next move, what does it feel like? What is it bringing up? Does it remind you of something old? Is that ultimately true? And if it's not, create a new belief around it. You have the choice to choose differently. You have a choice to change your belief system. Look, as your knowledge expands and broadens and everything else, you can change your opinion on something. Well, I just have a hard time trusting people. No, you have a hard time trusting yourself. You have a hard time trusting yourself because so many things happen that you've hardened up, that you've created this ego way of thinking that's like, hey, you're always on watch. You're always in survival mode. And until you decide and shift and just kind of are willing to move out of that, you're going to stay there. And your adrenals are going to stay shot. Your body's going to stay in stubborn fatville. You're going to stay wired and tired. You have to move into this next version of yourself, the one that has everything she wants, has these things, it has the body, the health, the spouse, the money, the business, the presence, the whatever it is. But the fear of that holding on, the white knuckling, that's the trauma. That's the thing that needs to be leaned into. And that's what we help you. We help you do that in Hot Moms. That's why it's so powerful. And you see these testimonials and all this stuff when nothing else has worked, but Hot Moms will work. And that's why. So just self-check yourself next time. If you're having trouble with making a decision or trusting someone else, always know it's an inside job. How do you want it to be? How do you want things to be? When you make up your mind that you're done with something, you're done with somebody's bullshit, like you're just unavailable for the bullshit. And that's what happened to me. Like I was tired of his shit, a little young ass. Like I was just tired of it. I was like, I'm going to get me an older guy that appreciates. Very shortly, I manifested Skip. But I manifested Skip not because I was a vibrational match for Skip. I manifested Skip out of, here's what I'm not available for, but here's what I am available for. I wrote out what I wanted in a spouse because I was angry and like done. I was fed up. That scorned woman energy I was talking about, right? You can manifest a spouse that way, or a situation, a new weight, a new job, a new car, a new whatever way of thinking. Like I got so done with myself for not being able to make a decision. I'm like, fine, I'm deciding from this day forward, every decision I make is the aligned decision. You may need to keep your eye on that lighthouse to stay on track. And that's where I come in. But ultimately, like you're going to get there. You're going to get there. And trust is a thing that over time, you will gain more confidence in your trusting of yourself and others. You'll be real quick to know that's a snake belongs outside or people. Nope, that's a no for me. But first you have to be like, okay, wait a minute. I don't like how my life's going right now. I don't like attracting these assholes or bitches or whatever. I don't like attracting these clients. I don't like being broke. Well, then be done with it. Be done with it. And if you already had the thing that you wanted and you loved yourself and you already had this stuff and you fully trusted, then what would you do? That's making decisions out of love versus fear and where you're at and lack and blah, blah, blah. The other way to attract this person or situation is to be a match for that. Okay, well, once you've healed all the stuff, your baggage, you're going to attract an aligned partner, person, opportunity, or whatever. Like every amazing business coach I've ever found, every good thing I've ever found has been when I am in a place of either fed upness, like I'm so done. That's why I talk to people, getting them into Hot Moms. I'm like, I don't know if you're fit because you're not fed up. Or you can do it out of just straight getting in the vibe of every day, being the match, feeling that thing that you want. Man, job, body, hormone panel. You have to get uncomfortable to get to where you want to go. You had made the decision. You were in a soul space of confidence, clarity. As a matter of fact, you were in a place of out of love and expansion. I wanted this. So yeah, that's how you cultivate trust. There's clarity, and then you bring in confidence, because clarity and knowing what you do and don't want, deciding those things, putting them into place, and then over time, you're like, okay, I see this working now. And then it just gets better and better and better and better and easier and easier. It's something that you need to make a conscious decision on. Or if you don't, hey, guess what? Worst case scenario, you're just going to stay where you're at. If you're not that uncomfortable, then don't do anything. That's how you'd cultivate and lock in trust. It's going to take some practice, okay? And some willingness to see things differently. Maybe even asking for some help. And we have a few different ways to do that. So go to kcship.com/register. And on there, on the Webby, there'll be a button that says fill out application. Just fill that out. Be honest. What's going on? We'll read it. We'll say, hey, here's what I think we need to do. Maybe we do a 15-minute like little triage call. Maybe you start with a course. Maybe we say, you know what, just get in the free group. Maybe we say, start with this. Maybe we say, hey, Hot Moms is for you. Maybe we say, you know what, we can't help you. I don't know. But all I know is it's worth a shot to get you out on the other side of where you're at right now. Okay? You got shit to do, so stop holding back.